Hi, in this video we will see about React ESLint plugin. This is a continuation of my previous video. I have installed React ESLint plugin in my Create React app project already, as you know. I will walk you through some of the settings that I have. In the latest Create React app, import React from React, that statement is optional. We don't have to use it. But if we don't use it, our React ESLint plugin throws an error. We don't want this error. Let's turn it off. Let's turn off this React in JSX scope rule off. Okay, I need to turn it off, not make it an error, which is already the case. Now the error is gone. I also don't want to have certain errors that are already there, but I will walk you through some of the rules that are pretty good. So here in this case, if I use props.name, React ESLint asks us to destructure instead of using props.name pattern. So here let me destructure it and fix this ESLint error. Now the ESLint error is gone. Now I have a TypeScript error. It goes off by defining the type. Now that I define it, name is a string, the TypeScript error is not there anymore. But if I make it optional, I get this error. For some reason, this plugin is not playing nice with a TypeScript. So I need to turn off this rule as well, where it requires default props. So I'm going to turn off. I mean, there is another way to fix it by giving default value, but I don't want to do that here. I want to have an optional props. Let me show you another rule. Here I showed you two components defined in two different ways. One is defined using function keyword, the other is defined using arrow function. I want this consistency in my project because I don't want some developers defining components using function keyword, other developers defining using arrow function. I want everybody to define using arrow function so that every component will be defined as an arrow function. This is a consistency I want. So this rule will let me do that. Now here if I notice, it's defined using function keyword. For some reason this is not picking it up. Let me close and open the file. Probably then it will pick it up again. If I go to this file again, yeah, because it's not as defined as an arrow function, it's throwing an error. Now that I defined as an arrow function, it fixes it. Don't worry, when everything is transpiled, it will not be actually an arrow function, so there is no performance reason and all those other set of discussion. So because this arrow function will also let us define in one line if you don't have any state or things like that, so that is why I prefer using arrow function. Okay, let me also show you this forbid DOM props, because most of the time you don't want people using style props in your tags, right? And you don't know how to comment in PR each time. So let's enforce it. I have defined this rule, and yes, so because we forbid style props, it is throwing a nice error. There is also a way to forbid specific HTML tag as well. I mean, in case if you have a project where you define button component, input field component, text component, a lot of these components, and you want people to use this particular design pattern and not define their own h1p tag or input tag, and if you are going to leave comments in the PR asking them to use the component that we have already defined, a good way is to forbid all these elements. I mean, wherever the component that you have defined, there you could disable the eslint rule, but this would ensure that your developers, new developers or any junior developers, anybody, they don't have to wait till the PR. They will already know that they have to use a component. So this is one other rule that is helpful. But other rules are more archaic. It's not maybe it's not up to date yet. I wish it is more up to date. For example, there are this rule like related to optimization. I wish it is based on memo than should component update, which is the old way of writing React. Anyway, I hope you found this video useful. In the next video, we will cover about TypeScript ESLint config. Thank you.